Hello, 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 my friends. Caitlin here, and what did you write in your middle school diary? Whoa, 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 that is kind of personal. You can't ask people that kind of stuff. Oh, good point. I'll just share what's in my middle school diary with all of you. Wait, what? So I watched this Evelyn from the Internet's video where she shares some entries from her childhood diary, and I thought it was hilarious and nostalgic, and it inspired me to make my own version. So I found this journal, which I started in July of 2003 and ended in December of 2005, so it would have been from when I was 13 to 15, and it is amazing. And also pretty cringy. So I wanted to start out today by sharing some entries from my middle school days. Okay, very first entry was made on July 17th, 2003. Hi, my name is Caitlin Davis Pendleton, and this is my diary / journal / autobiography. I suppose that in here I'll write how I feel and record junk, like what I ate and who I ate with, or I could just pour out my whole heart. Well, there isn't much for me to pour out since I feel like a zombie for the majority of my time, but I do have a vivid imagination and a love for the arts. Well, I suppose that you would like to know who this insane girl that you're reading about is. I thought so read on, but beware. The content and secrets held between these covers. Beware! So I wanted to read this one, in part because I feel like you get a sense of my personality very quickly, but also because of the line, there isn't much to pour out since I feel like a zombie for the majority of my time. It was really interesting going back and reading this because one of the things, like when I talk to my therapist and people ask, when was the first time you felt like you had depression? And I always say when I was 13, like I just felt, or I guess the thing was I didn't feel anything. Like I didn't know when I was 13 that I had depression. I can see in this journal that I was actually kind of aware of it in a way. Like I knew that something was wrong. I just didn't have the words to be able to describe it. So the next 2 pages are me, the way that I am. And then there's a bunch of like different things that people call me. The next page is what I love, is the me I want to be. So I've got like long flowing, like curly hair. Interesting enough, I have blue eyes in this. Like the other one I have green, which is, I have green eyes. But I guess for some reason when I was 13, I wanted to have blue eyes. I'm wearing this like purple with blue flame shirt that's like showing a little bit of cleavage. It's got this like keyhole cutout, and I've got purple lipstick on, but then I also am driving this purple and pink scooter. When I was like 13, driving a scooter was the coolest thing ever because there's this, I think it's like the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie where they're in Paris. It was either Italy or Paris and they ride a scooter, and I was like, I want to be cool and ride a scooter and have amazing like curly hair and apparently blue eyes. Okay, so second entry is from the 20th of July in 2003. And I think this entry goes along with those 2 photos, the me that I am and then the me that I want to be, because I title this Me, Myself, and I. I like being me, myself, and I. Being someone else would probably get old after a while. Being Caitlin is just fine with me until something bad happens or my whole world goes kapooey. What might be nice is to be able to be anybody I want to be able to change my appearance and or my personality at will. Sometimes I don't exactly understand why so many people think I'm a cutie and a beautiful young girl, but not one really hot guy likes me. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not shallow. I have a total sweetheart boyfriend who isn't the most gorgeous fellow on earth. Oh, Caitlin, yeah, no, you're but I would like to get a really cute guy to like me. Well, I guess I'll just have to wait for that. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I ended over and out. Oh my gosh, Caitlin. So yeah, that's not a very flattering entry at all. But yeah, if you can't tell, when I was 13, I was, you know, a shallow little butthead. So I want to read the end of this next entry, and then I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in time, just because this relationship with this boyfriend ends relatively, I think it ends over the summer. This one is from the 21st. It's titled The Blues. And basically I'm talking about how like my boyfriend has gone away to Mexico. I quote Mexico, and that he has football tryouts. I don't know why those are in quotes. And I go on to talk about how I'm upset about it and like how I don't really like football because it's a brutal sport. The end I thought was interesting because it's a very good indicator of my codependent habits that were obviously present even when I was 13, so I say. But I guess I better let happen what happens and make sure he's happy no matter what. I just wanted to be happy and enjoy life, and I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I only said I'd go out with him because I thought that it's what would make him happy, and it did, so why am I not happy? I don't know. Boys, ha! And I end it with confused. Yeah. Girl, you a codependent. You can't base your happiness on other people's happiness. Ugh. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit. I'm not gonna read some of these, but I'll give you the kind of rundown. On the 26th of July, I talk about how I got news that my boyfriend wanted to break up with me, and since I hate having guys break up with me, I wrote him an email expressing all my locked up feelings. And then I say, he wanted to break up with me because he thinks I like Josh. And I'm like, ha 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 ha, yeah right, I don't like him at all, that was old stuff, ha. So in the very next entry, which does skip ahead a little bit in time to mid-August, and it starts, no, I like Josh. Then I go on for 3 pages, deeply analyzing all these little things that he did to me and how it definitely meant that he liked me too. Spoiler alert, he didn't. So we're definitely entering a period in my life where I just liked any guy who even vaguely looked in my direction. I get into 8th grade, I start liking one of my other friends named Chris. I also changed my writing style to have this really obnoxious, giant cursive I. And so it just looks like an O. It's just like O's all over the page. So skipping ahead quite a bit, we're now on March 2nd, 2004. This is titled Long Time No See. Oh my gosh, it has been so long since I wrote in here. It obviously shows how busy I am, but I don't like Chris anymore. Hooray! Yet I'm shackled and bound again. Holy cow. By who, you may ask? I go out with Paul, woohoo! Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be fun, but it's just the same. Chained up for life. Wow, Caitlin. I perpetually liked people and wanted a boyfriend, but then I would get in a relationship and be like, this is awful. I gotta get out of here. I more than ever want to leave here. Maybe get out of the state or something for a little while. Who knows? All I want to do is curl up and sleep, but people keep expecting me to be perfect and do everything, and I can't. I really, really need a break. Pretty kind of a dark entry, and then I just end it with cheerio. Oh gosh, guys, it's very interesting to know, like to see hard evidence that you have been the exact same, like your entire life. So here, I'm very obviously dealing with my perfectionist tendencies and codependency, or at least like recognizing that I don't want to be in a relationship and yet I keep like getting into them. So in the next entry, which skips ahead a little bit in time to June, so I've finished middle school and I only dated Paul for a week. I note that here, but I have a new crush. So kind of the rest of my summer is very detailed about my crush, who ends up being my first like real boyfriend. I note here that he's tall in all capital letters, 5'8" to be exact. So obviously being tall was a very important thing to me when I was, I guess 14 at this point. I have a nice page here where I drew him with his spiky hair and in his black tee and jean shorts, because that was like the outfit that I thought he looked the most hot in when I was 14. In this entry from July 1st of 2004, I say, oh my gosh, life is so good. And Nathan is the sweetest, most amazing guy I've ever met. It's amazing how fast things can change and what goes on right under my own nose. I never imagined Nathan being in my life, and now he is. He really is a clone of my mind. He's my boyfriend now. Apparently on June 30th, 2004, we went to see the movie Two Brothers together with my grandma and our 2 little brothers. And then I talk about how he would like lean in and our shoulders and elbows would brush one another. So he stroked my arm, and afterward he asked me what I thought of him stroking me. And I told him that I'd never wash that arm again. It's funny. I was so in love. I don't know why, him in particular, but it was just like all the little fireworks went off for 14-year-old Caitlin. So yeah, pretty much the rest of the summer is just me talking about my, expanding feelings for Nathan. I have 3 pages where I talk about my first kiss. I'm not gonna read it because it's just, I don't know, it's got a lot of minute details that seemed very important when I was 14, obviously, but it probably isn't that important now. So the last entry before high school, I like this one and I do want to read to you because it's called Remembering. Well, today I was reading over some of my older entries, like 7/20/03, and I realized how much I've changed. I was really shallow sounding in that entry. I don't know, maybe I am, but I certainly don't want to be. I think saying that someone is shallow is wrong. Everybody has things that appeal to them in the opposite sex. Tall, strong, smart, and freckly for me, which basically described my boyfriend. Just because someone likes a person that is also attractive to other people doesn't mean that they're shallow. They simply have similar interests. Someone who is shallow pays no attention to people who do not meet their standard on the outside. The outside doesn't matter. Only the inside is what keeps you coming back for more. And I end it with peace. So I think I went back and was reading and then felt really bad about it, which I mean, yeah, Caitlin, you were a very shallow person. I would hope I'm not that shallow now. I kind of feel like, maturity just brings kind of what I was talking about in that last line, which is learning that people are a lot more than just the way they look, and they might be super hot, but if they're not actually people who match your interests and values, then it's not actually gonna be a good relationship. Okay, so I ended my tween years on a high note with my first real boyfriend and my first kiss. What drama, what intrigue. So there's still quite a lot more in this journal that I'd like to share, so I think I will do a high school version too, because doesn't Caitlin's love life get even more juicy once she hits high school? But if nothing else, rereading these journal entries has kind of reminded me of the differences between the way middle schoolers think about love and friendship and relationships and the way adults do. And that I'm kind of just perpetually a dramatic person, if I'm being honest. I hope you enjoyed my tweenage escapades. Let me know down in the comments if you kept a journal when you were young or currently keep a journal. Plus, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know the moment there's a new video, and you can check me out on all these other social media sites. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.